Several Breeders' Cup Challenge races were recently contested at tracks across the country and overseas. Let's begin at Del Mar, where an automatic entry into the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile was at stake in the Pat O'Brien.
A call for riders up in the Grade 2 Pat O'Brien, a spot on the line in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Spirit of McKenna, there we're taking a good look at him now. But Simon, are you concerned? I mean, this is obviously, I think, the best field that he's faced today.
Yeah, oh, for sure it is.
Okay.
Yeah. No, look, there are some question marks, no doubt about it, but he's beaten Anarchist, he's beaten CZ Rocket, and I would agree, they're probably, at least CZ Rocket hasn't been at the top of his game the last few starts, so we'll see.
Anarchist 5-2. Ramon Vasquez in the irons for Doug O'Neill. He was second in the Bing, second in the True North. Can he break through today?
All set now for the Pat O'Brien Stakes. And away they go. Hoist the Goal sent along on the inside, tries to get the lead. Sir Atticus began smoothly and goes up to join them too. Up alongside of those two now we have Viva Con Allegria in the leading group. Also there is Spirit of McKenna. Just behind them comes Gojo, 1-5 off these leaders. Alongside of that, we have Brickyard Ride. They've been followed by Hoist the Gold, who's having to be sent along. Moose Mitchell is down at the rail, a good 12 lengths off these leaders, alongside CZ Rocket, and Bye Bye Bobby's last. They run past the half-mile pole, and Brickyard Ride now opens up a length and a half on them. Viva Con Allegria is racing second. There goes Spirit of McKenna, and Spirit of McKenna going after them, and Anarchist on the far side. Sir Atticus at the rail just crying out for room now. CZ Rocket is starting to run late on the outside. It's suddenly wide open. Spirit of McKenna. Anarchist is right there. Sir Atticus hooks out and comes after them. CZ Rocket is in with a chance extreme outside. They turn for home now, and it's Anarchist with a slight lead. Anarchist in front on the inside, Spirit of McKenna. CZ Rocket with a late run, and then Sir Atticus. But it is still gonna be Anarchist to go home to win it. And here's Bye Bye Bobby from dead last, but it's Anarchist wins. Bye Bye Bobby finished up in second.
Angelo Fredo had Anarchist win here, and Angelo, maybe no other horse was deserving of this big Grade 1 score. Tell us about it.
I agree. I think he's a talented horse. He's run on turf, he's run on synthetic, he's run on dirt. He's always been competitive. He tries real hard. And I kept saying, just keep pushing him. He'll eventually win. He'll show you. He's a great horse, great in the barn, really does everything we ask him to do. So we go east, we go west, we go north, south, Midwest, we'll go anywhere. So.
And you're staying west now for the Breeders' Cup.
Oh, yes, we are, yes. We love the West Coast, so we're good.
York hosted a trio of win-and-you're-in events last week. Here's Jess Stafford with a recap of the action from the Ebor Festival.
First of the Breeders' Cup win and you're in races was the Juddmonte International, the Group 1 over 1 mile 2 furlongs. Just the 4 horses went to post, led by the unbeaten this season, Paddington. Could he add a 5th consecutive Group 1 to his resume, or was someone going to knock him off his pedestal?
Moore is now crouching low on Paddington. He gets to within 2 lengths. Frankie asks Mostahdaf for more. Can Paddington get past? Nash were on the right, is staging a challenge. The Fox is back in 4th. Mostahdaf on down towards the last furlong. Paddington, though, pressing hard under the Moore drive. Nash were trying to burrow through against the rail. Mostahdaf, Paddington leaning left. He got to his quarters. Can he get past? Frankie in front, punching away, Mostahdaf, and it's a record-breaking Juddmonte International success for Frankie on his farewell.
This was exquisite because obviously nobody expected us to win. With a great Paddington, amazing Fredo was won 5 Group 1 straight, and it was a great performance.
Mostahdaf upsets the fans of Paddington, and he is the winner of the Juddmonte International, booking his tickets to the Breeders' Cup. It was an automatic entry into the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic, and Mostahdaf does have form on both the synthetics and the turf, so the opportunity to run in the Classic will look very tempting indeed for the connections of Mostahdaf. On to day 2, and the second of the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series races was the Pertemps Network Yorkshire Oaks, a really open looking field to this race. It was, of course, a Breeders' Cup win, and you're in for the Maker's Mark Fillies and Mares turf. And Aidan O'Brien had a strong hand for this renewal.
Al Hooson away to the left. Ross Carberry second from the left. Blue Stocking trying to thread through, save the last dance. Challenged by her stablemate, Warm Heart, who's come there looking a real threat. Then Blue Stocking. Here's Frankie on Free Wind, beginning to run on from the rear. Aboard the white-faced mare as Warm Heart goes to the front inside the furlong. Frankie coming over the top. Is this another Frankie special? Free Wind drawing alongside Warm Heart, who's digging in very gamely. Inches either way. Desperately close between Warm Heart and Free Wind at the end of the Yorkshire Oaks.
And it goes the way of the second string, Warm Heart, for Aidan O'Brien. Just is able to cling on to the success from Frankie Dettori's urging on Free Wind. She gets the automatic entry to the Breeders' Cup Fillies and Mares turf, an entry that Aidan O'Brien no doubt will be very tempted to take. He always brings a big string over to the Breeders' Cup every year.
I think she'd be probably made for the Fillies and Mares turf. I think it would suit her really well, and she's a nice size too, and she's strong, and she has tactical speed as well.
And the final Breeders' Cup win, and you're in race of the week here at York, was the Coolmore Wootton Bassett Nunthorpe Stakes, an automatic entry for the Breeders' Cup turf sprint. A huge field went to post, led by last year's winner, Highfield Princess. Could she defend her crown?
Over on the far side, still living the dream, showing a lot of pace from Highfield Princess, and Queen Me coming there with Makarova. Regionals under a bit of pressure. Bradsell's coming into the race quite stylishly. They're already down to the final furlong here. Spread across the track, living the dream, a real trailblazer. He's awash with sweat, but by golly, he's flying. They're all queuing up behind, though. Highfield Princess beginning to gather herself. Can they get to live in the dream? And Sean Curran looks like going to be an all-the-way win, and a surprise in the Nunthorpe. Living the dream wins it from Highfield Princess.
And Highfield Princess is knocked off her pedestal by Live in the Dream for Adam West and Sean Curran. Their biggest victory to date, their first run in a Group 1, and it's a success. Live in the Dream so quick out the gates, and is able to lead from pillar to post. Automatic entry to the Breeders' Cup turf sprint is won, and Adam West is super keen to bring this horse over to Santa Anita in November. He's never travelled out to America before with a horse. This is going to be his golden ticket.
And now you're going to the Breeders' Cup?
I think so.
Why not?
Definitely.
Because he's got gate speed, and you think he can threaten the American horses on gate speed?
I think he's £10 better on a turning track. That's a big statement, but I do. I think he gets that position, and then he can get a breather. On these straight courses, he doesn't get a breather, but he's just nicked enough today. Oh, amazing.
Saratoga saw a pair of challenge events. The Ballerina featured hopefuls in the PNC Bank Filly and Mare Sprint Division.
They're at the top of the stretch. Their records nearly identical as they square off once again. Echo Zulu on the inside, and Goodnight Olive 1-2 in the Ballerina with a furlong left to go, and Echo Zulu puts her away, opening up through the stretch. Echo Zulu, most impressive in the Ballerina.
The Longines Turf Division was in the spotlight in the Sword Dancer.
Bolshoi Ballet on the outside, and Stone Age. These two are stride for stride. Pioneering Spirit is trying to get involved from the back of the field, and Bolshoi Ballet went right by Stone Age and is opening up, turning in a stellar display as Soldier Rising rallies strongly into second, but it's all about Bolshoi Ballet.
And at Deauville, the Prix Morny offered the winner a berth in the juvenile turf sprint.
As they head down to the 200, and Ramatuel goes on, pursued by Vandeek. Here's River Tiber as well in the blue and orange, gaining in the closing stages, but 2 lengths off the leaders. Ramatuel, she still has the lead. Vandeek is getting to her though. Vandeek!
The 2023 Breeders' Cup is November 3rd and 4th. For tickets, go to breederscup.com.